Zero Sum Game, Episode 5, Interlude. In an instant, Viv, Maeve, and the rest of their crew escaped from the scene using the exact tactic that got them in: their speakers. This left Nate, Jazz, and Dean to lay waste to whatever was left. In an instant base change, Viv guides her newfound alliance to a place filled with many, many memories. Cypher's Game Shop. Cypher's is still just how she left it. So calm and stuck in one time. This will be the perfect spot for her base of operations. All right, everyone, she turns around, and the room is filled with people. It's a little cramped, but she'll make do. Did Maeve get you all caught up in the plan? The crowd nods. Good, she smiles, because in 1 week's time, we will have to get ready for a system reset. She looks around the room, almost proud of the numbers she has, but looks to her left and realizes the one person she'd usually turn to, the one she'd usually have with her, isn't there anymore, and all of her memories from before came flooding back. Chaos. Everything at this point is in utter chaos around her. She hears screams, but she can't reach any of them from in her room. Mom? Mama, where are you? Viv runs out of her room, hearing bang after bang outside. As soon as she gets downstairs, she sees her mom yelling in distress. Run, V, run. Hide behind a piece of furniture, something. Her cries ring in her ears as she hides under and behind the nearest object, covering herself. Mama, Viv yells. Mama, hide with me. But before she can hear an answer, everything goes red. Moments pass and everything seems calm. Mom? Viv asks, standing up, and regrets everything the moment she turns to see ash spreading across the room. Tears swell in the corner of her eyes. Mom! She's kneeling. Nothing much to her now anyways. Her mother is dead. It doesn't look like there's anything or anyone else left. Then she hears footsteps. Viv! A voice calls from the distance, and a few more footsteps follow. Viv, are you here? She can tell whoever it is upset. There's as much pain in their voice as she feels. It's Jazz, please, please come out. Viv rushes up. Shock fills her system. She's still alive, Viv thinks. Jazz is still alive. Viv runs out to greet the other mourning children on the street. 1, 2, there's 4 of them in total. Her, Jazz, Dean, and Nate. All together, all alone. Viv grabs each of them as soon as she's close enough and hugs them so tightly in hopes that they'll never be parted. Ever. It's been 2 weeks since her home has been destroyed. She's scared. Tired, maybe? Viv doesn't know anymore. It's not like she can show any of it. Dean, Nate, and Jazz are all much younger than her, she thinks. If she doesn't hold it together, she doesn't know how they would either. The closest city to us is Sun City, Viv announces. My mom used to take us there all the time on holiday trips, she continues. And it was true. Every year, she'd take Viv there. It was so much fun. But now, she wavers, almost unwilling to go. But she has to. She and the rest of her newfound family are all sitting around a table at Cypher's. Viv and Jazz were playing chess. And thankfully, Rosie, the sweet old lady who owned the ice cream shop, had housed them and given them jobs for a few months before they headed to Alafast. The money that they had all earned went into a rickety place a few blocks away from the game shop. So, is there anything special that you all want to do today? Viv asks, looking around at the 3 people beside and in front of her. None of them say anything. Well, I was thinking that we could go up top to the roof tonight and watch the sunset. I heard you could see the whole city from up there. Again, nobody said anything. Look, Viv starts. I know that this has been a hard year for everyone. Trust me, I know, but we have each other. She looks around at everyone and smiles. She can see a small smile coming from the others around her. We're a family now. Dean and Nate nod in response. And family looks out for each other. Viv sighs, standing up to walk closer to Dean and Nate, putting a hand on each of their shoulders. But it is still important to remember the ones that we lost. She becomes teary, a flood of emotions coming right back to her. That sounds good. The rooftop thing, Nate says softly. All right, Viv says. The sunset it is. Jazz, you know I'm right, Viv yells, in hopes that Nate and Dean aren't hearing their argument. We need to do something. They're treating the destruction of our home as if it never happened. As if it was a myth, a legend. Jazz puts her hands on Viv's arms. Hey, I know. I'm just as upset as you are. But there's not much that we can do about it at this point, she says calmly, putting her hands on Viv's cheek. I know you're angry. I am too. Viv nods in frustration. She doesn't want to fight. She's just exhausted. What she needs is for people to notice. No, recognize and apologize for what they did to her and her family. And then an idea hit, like a ton of bricks. You know what? Viv says with a start. There is one thing that we could do. Viv and the crew finally had a good building for their base of operations back home, in Ground Zero. It was nice. Way more run down than Viv would like, but it was good for now. Unfortunately, though, the 4 of them just got back from a series of protests. And well, none of them went as planned. Ugh, Viv says, storming through the dusty front door. I can't believe it. We weren't taken seriously again. She looks around for something to kick. Maybe punch? She doesn't know at this point. She just needs to get her anger out on something. Hey, Vivi, it's okay, Jazz says, walking up behind her and giving her a hug. Don't call me that, Viv refutes, trying to wiggle herself out of an entrapment that Jazz put her in. And besides, you messed the whole thing up, Jay. You brought the wrong signs again. Okay, I'm sorry. My fault. But it's not the end of the... Yes, it is. It is the end of the world, Viv exclaims. It is a big deal. We could have really done something this time. But now we're just laughing stocks. Viv sits down, putting her head in her hands. It's just not fair. I know. Jazz sighs. I know. Moments pass, and then the others come in, loud and boisterous as ever. Hey! Oh, hi. Are we interrupting something? 'Cause we could just go, Dean says. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We were actually planning on what we were having for dinner tonight. Do you have any requests? Jazz asks, changing the subject immediately. I don't have any preferences, Nate says, shrugging. We don't have much food left, Dean replies. Maybe leftovers? He asks, and Jazz lights up. I'll see what I can do with leftovers. She smiles and walks out of the door, up to the kitchen. You okay? Nate asks, walking over to sit with Viv. I'm fine, she replies. Just a little tired is all. Okay, they respond, putting a hand on her shoulder. If you need to talk or anything, we're always here, Dean tacks on. Anything you need. And as they say that, a thought comes into her head. You know what? There is something that you can do for me, Viv murmurs. The idea begins to formulate. An idea that Jazz will most definitely hate. But you two have to promise me you will not tell a soul about this. Not even Jazz. She looks to each of them, and they both nod. No, Dean demands. I won't continue with this plan of yours. It's insane. Leveling an entire planet? That's not what I signed up for when you first told us about this. I still can't believe that Nate would even consider staying on this path with you. He continues to scream at her, and she doesn't fully understand why. This is the only way to deal with this problem. Starting over. The only reason why I'm even staying with this group is for Jazz and Nate, not you, not this cause anymore. Jazz and Nate, they need me, because at this point, you are too much. I can't do this anymore, Nate says to Viv. I just can't. With what I know, I can't support you anymore. This is not the right way. So be it then, Viv replies. I'll do this by myself. This has been Zero Sum Game, Episode 5, Interlude. I would like to thank Ben Sounds and Adobe Stock for all of the music that you've heard in this episode. Join us for our final episode next week with a dramatic conclusion to Zero Sum Game.